Welcome everybody to another round of World of Tanks subscriber replays. My name as always is Maxwell, and today's first video is from the user Captain Spetsnaz. That's Captain Spetsnaz, and he's driving the T-32 on an encounter battle on the Sand River. T-32 being the Tier 8 heavy tank for the Americans. It's the one that feels like you get a little bit cheated when you upgrade from the T-29, because the stock T-32 is absolutely god-awful. This thing is a piece of crap when you first get it. Wow. Well, he ventured a little bit too far. But yeah, this thing is an absolute piece of crap when you first buy it. You really do feel like you get a little bit cheated. But once you get a few upgrades for it, like even the engine and suspension upgrades are necessary for this thing, for the weight limit and for the ability to drive at more than 20 kilometers per hour. Not to mention needing the extra gun and the extra turret for the turret armor, because the stock turret on this thing is again pretty damn awful. It gets about 120 something points of turret armor, which is not fantastic. But like I said, once you get a few upgrades on this thing and stick a few extra bits on it, it really starts coming into its own. So anyway, back to the replay at hand. Captain Spetsnaz setting himself up at the base of the mountains here, getting in a good hold down position and just picking off the enemy as and when they can find them. Apologies if there's a little bit of lag in this video, but this is a clip from a previous version, so it's not the most up-to-date version of World of Tanks, which is why you are seeing the little bit of gun cursor lag. Ooh, trying to get a shot through that T-28 prototype, but that's notoriously difficult to penetrate. But yeah, that's why you're seeing a little bit of cursor lag, reticule lag, and why you're seeing a little bit of zoom in and zoom out lag. You're getting the end of the barrel of the gun every now and then. But like I said, that's just because this replay is from a previous version, so there are going to be a couple of little mistakes. So just trying to hold off the enemy as best as they can. Sees a few people coming in and having their shots and then leaving again. Trying to pick out the top of the turret of the IS there. Gets a good shot through that. Does a decent amount of damage. And then just decides that it's about time to back up, because he's pretty much the only heavy tank in this area. There's that M6 at the bottom there, but he's a little bit hurt. And there's tank destroyers, mediums and lights are the rest of the guys around here. The rest of the team seem to have made a beeline for that cap zone. So Captain Spetsnaz just taking a peek over the top there, because nobody else was going to try and get a shot on the side of this Tiger P. Don't want to try and put a shot through the front, because that will almost certainly bounce. Done a decent amount of damage so far. It's 1600, but it looks like they're probably about to get overwhelmed here, considering that most of the team have gone for that cap zone, and the enemy definitely has more heavy and medium armor in the area to do more damage. There's a Type 59 here. He looks like he's about to be in trouble. Captain Spetsnaz deciding that the IS isn't too much of a risk. Gets himself in there and rams the Type 59 to death by reversing into him, so extra style points for that kill there. Good little maneuver, deciding that the IS was probably either not going to pick on him or was going to pick on his ally there. So he was fine just to present his rear armor as he drove over the top there. And as it was, managed to pick himself up 2 kills, and now he's up to 2,500 points of damage. And now we can freely use the corpse of this Type 59 to get into a fantastic hull down position. Because like I said, the upgraded turret on the T-32, very strong and very difficult to penetrate. As you can see, that 3002M in the distance there, not going to have much luck with that. ELC AMX comes out of the hills, tries to do a little bit of damage, gets a good shot through the side there. It looks like it's damaged his radio operator. But like I said, there's a little bit of errors with... Oh, very unlucky for the ELC there. Not only did he get hit, but he got ammo racked for his last 50 odd hit points. So that is kill number 3 for Captain Spetsnaz. And then there's this T-28 prototype. Got to bide your time with this thing and really pick out the weak spots if you are the same tier as it, because the armor on the front of this thing is a little bit ridiculous, but it looks like the Wolfpack is able to take him out no problem whatsoever, and that just leaves a Ferdinand, a 3601 and a 3002M. Ferdinand closing in on the cap circle, as is the 3601, although I'm not sure what he's going to be able to do from that position. Going to try and pick out the 3002 there, but just a little bit too far away, moving a little bit too fast, and Captain Spetsnaz having a little bit too much lag to be able to take that guy out. So he's going to head up towards the ridge, try and get some eyes on somebody. But I mean, at this point, at 13 kills to 6, this thing is all but a foregone conclusion now. And they've just got that 3601 and that Ferdinand, so really it's just going to be a case of close the net, descend on the targets, and people are going to try and get as many kills and as much damage as they can with the last remaining time. That Ferdinand turning round and getting his gun on target, but not quite able to get a penetrating shot through. Turret armor of the T-32 just proving too manly. You see that Ferdinand just trying to get a hit, but not quite able to pick out the weak spot of the turret. Can Spetsnaz put a shot right through the roof of the cab? He can indeed. And that just leaves the Ferdinand with around about one shot to death. It would be nice if Spetsnaz could pick this one up, because he's done a significant amount of damage to this guy already. Indeed he can. That's kill number 5 and 4,500 points of damage. So absolutely brilliant game played there by Captain Spetsnaz, just holding the centre for his team while they could basically just do whatever they liked with the cap circle. So absolutely excellent game from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Stick around, because the score screens and another game, as always, are coming right up. And our second replay of the day is from the user Demented. That's Demented, and he's driving the IS-3 on an assault battle on Sand River, this team being the defenders. So they've got to defend their cap circle against the attacking team, or basically wipe out all of the attackers. So Demented going to be heading along this very far left-hand flank here, heading towards the north. As you see, he spawned over there at spawn position 2, excuse me, along with the Tiger 2 and the T-150. Looks like the T-150 is either AFK or hasn't connected to the game yet, but the Tiger 2 is nicely doing his job and heading over here as well. Demented just having a quick peek there to see if he can spot anybody. Unfortunately, the M5 Steward hasn't quite got into position yet to get eyes on anybody. As soon as he can light up some targets, hopefully Demented will have someone to shoot at. Spot out a brace of tigers, a pair of tigers there. It wasn't in position to hit either of them to begin with, but gets a good shot on the rear of that Tiger 1 there. Spots the AMX AC up on the ridge. This might be a little bit higher priority target, considering he's a tank destroyer and got that larger cannon. Unlucky for him, he started moving just a split second too late there, or else that shot would have luckily missed. So the Tiger 2 setting himself up on the ridge line there behind the rocks. Oh no, I thought he was getting in a hold down position to return fire on the IS-3 here of Demented, but it looks like he's looking to the east there, to the right hand flank. So hopefully Demented just put a shot through the side of his turret. Yes, it looks like he may have. No, that's nowhere near enough damage. That's 20 points of damage, so it looks like somebody's actually hit him with HE rounds. There we go. When you get shot by an IS-3, you really know about it. It's not going to do no 20 points of damage to you. It's going to hurt. So the Tiger 2 doing his best to try and get into cover behind some rocks there, but not quite able to get out of the line of fire just about yet. I don't think he knows where he's being shot from right now, as he's not attempting to return fire. He's just hiding behind those rocks there. Looks like the T-150's taking hits in the side, blocking the IS-3 from reversing, but to be honest, the IS-3's got the armor to be able to withstand a few hits from the front. unlike the side armour of that T-150. So it looks like they're being scouted by this ELC, who's doing a good job of keeping himself safe on the other side of that ridge, and already Demented starting to take hits from the front. Luckily, the fantastic armour of that IS-3 able to just bounce that one ineffectually. And the game's only a few minutes in, and he's already done nearly 2,000 points of damage. Just trying to get a shot on that ELC AMX, but he's being a little bit smart there, and not coming all the way over the ridge. Although he's going to have this Su-152 to deal with in a second if the SU decides to carry on pushing. And the ELC deciding that discretion is the better part of valor and just makes a run for the village. Now this does mean that there are no targets easily available at the moment. That Tiger 2 is almost certainly going to still be there, although it looks like he's actually headed down into the dried up riverbed there, into the ditch, so maybe coming into close quarters fighting here. Spots out the VK, although he's looking in the wrong direction. Just about manages to get into a defensive position, and the shot bounces on the strong angle of his front plate there. Not sure. There we go. There's the Tiger 2. So he is indeed down in the ditch. So we're going to have to make our way down and try and get him. Bounced on the sharp angle of that front plate there. You've really, if you're the same tier as a Tiger 2, you really should be aiming for the commander's hatch or the lower plate of that tank, although the commander's hatch did get a buff recently, so really your best bet is just to aim for that lower plate of the Tiger 2. Not sure what he's doing. He's kind of just sat there, refusing to move. I think he's probably spotted the T-150, but that's going to be to his detriment, because Demented just comes in here and does a good chunk of damage. That Su-152 comes in, finishes him off, takes the kill away, but it doesn't matter because Demented's done his job in almost 2,500 points of damage. He was taking hits earlier on from that 30-02, but as you saw, the 30-02 just unable to actually get any damage through the strong armour of the IS-3, all of them just bouncing or causing critical hits. His 3601 should have started moving a little while ago because he's silhouetted up on that hillside. He's been lit up and he's been destroyed. So the game's pretty even at the moment at 4 kills to 4, but it looks like the team's actually nicely and handily won this fight in the north here. So the guys from the left-hand flank are now going to start closing the net in behind the enemy, who decided to rush the right-hand flank. So all they really need to do, need to get those tank destroyers and that T-29 to hold that flank for as long as they can, and the allies will soon be coming to their rescue. Not really sure what that T-50 and that other heavy tank are doing. Who is that? Not sure. Not really sure. I think that's the IS, but not really sure what they're doing camping there. I think they're trying, both of them, camping to try and get that 30-02 for some reason, when really what they should be doing is following Demented into the battle here to get around behind the enemy and get some free damage through the rear of their armour. It's been spotted by something, but not quite sure what. Not really got any easy targets presenting themselves here. Oh, there we go. Spoke too soon. There's a Panther. And going to get a good chunk of damage through the back of that Panther. Ah, the Tiger 1 there. That's a nice, juicy target. So his allies just got to hold off a little bit longer, but it looks like that Comet is getting rushed there in the south, although it looks like they are doing a good job of holding the enemy back, and now that the enemy have realised that people are coming from the rear, they've started to turn around and maybe not push quite as hard and quite as fast as they would have. That T-150 and that IS have just really tunnel visioned on that 30-02, although the 30-02 is almost certainly going to get destroyed. It's done a fantastic job of holding up 2 heavy tanks that could have been pushing along this rear flank. Decides to switch to the Nashorn here, which is absolutely the smart thing to do. The Nashorn, much higher priority target. Nashorn has a shot, and it just bounces on the very, very strong side armour of the IS-3 there. Able to get an almost snapshot there to take out the AC-46. And the score is still dead even at 8 kills to 8. Sherman gets himself over the ridge there, but just takes a massive hit in the side. And although now they have been flanked themselves, so this is a double flank. They flanked the enemy and came at them from the rear, and then the enemy flanked them again and came at them from the rear. Just a little bit unlucky there to hit the gun mantlet of the Sherman. Not surprised that that one bounced. The gun mantlet of these American tanks, very, very strong. And that T-150 and that IS are still trying to chase down this VK that they really should have been here with Demented this whole time. So, getting some very lucky bounces in this game, and also doing some good angling just to absorb and reflect a lot of the incoming damage. 30-02 gets a good hit through the rear, ammo racks him, but it's not, is it? Oh, just about gets away. Demented hesitated a little bit too long there, and the 30-02 was just about able to get away. I probably would have put a shot into him as I was retreating, but here he comes back again to try and steal some glory. Gets a little bit too greedy, and that's him taken out. And that T-150 and that IS still chasing the 30-02, which is now dead. Demented's got an age to wait for this gun to reload, but the Jagdpanzer doesn't know that, so he points his gun threateningly at him, and he decides to back off. Still pointing his gun threateningly, which is kind of what he's going to have to do for the foreseeable future. Enemy capping with a couple of tanks now. They've got that Tiger II in the area, so hopefully he can do something about that. And if he can't, at least Demented here has a shot on target. He's going to have to be a lot more careful with his shots now that he is ammo racked, because the reload is going to be a lot longer and a lot more painful. He's actually run out of standard shells, so he's onto the premium shells now. But you don't really worry about these things in a battle. You just want to do as much damage as you can to the enemy. So this one should almost certainly finish off the Caernarvon. And it does indeed. That T-150 and that IS turn up now. There's the Tiger I actually down in the dried up riverbed. So we're going to see if his allies can actually achieve anything whatsoever here. There's a Hellcat over there dueling with that Tiger II. That is a fight that the Tiger II should almost certainly win. That Jagdpanzer probably thanking his lucky stars there, not realising that Demented's got a hell of a long reload here anyway. IS still dueling with that Tiger I, but Demented doesn't really want to let this Jagdpanzer out of his sights. Wants to just focus down on this guy, and that is the end of the battle. Wow, I got so absorbed there, I didn't even notice that the timer was ticking down. And they've managed to get this one out to a victory with just that Jagdpanzer 4 left. And to be honest though, if that IS and T-50 had followed Demented earlier on in the battle, this could have gone a lot faster, a lot smoother, and they probably could have wiped them all out. But absolutely awesome replay nevertheless from Demented, bouncing a shitload of hits there and doing 5,500 points of damage himself. So absolutely brilliant replay from you. Thank you very much for sending that one in. Stick around, because as always the score screens are coming right up. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, leave me a like or favourite, stick a comment in the comment section below letting me know exactly what you thought. If you're not already, please consider hitting that subscribe button. I've been Maxwell, this has been World of Tanks, and I will catch you guys next time. Each other?
I'm gonna break your fucking face. Is that a fact? Yeah, that's a fact. Got a shit fucking memory, Wolf. It's not how it went last time.
So I'm the wolf.
This isn't last time.
Oh shit! I do need the keys. Had me hand off the keyboard there. Oh, I'm taking a bit of a beating.